Every time Mark put on his thick leather boots or polycotton uniform, every time he adjusted his dark sunglasses and helmet, he experienced a shot of sadness. It was not that it was a mistake to become a police officer. It was all that he could do, really, and he was good at it. But lately, his deeper yearning was overwhelming to him. Lately, when he saw his size 13 feet and 6 foot 3 inch, 240 pound frame, it almost made him weep. Lifting weights and working out was a means of acceptance. He was an officer of the law. He had to maintain his physical strength. It was his duty. His secret, piercing his heart each time he saw his reflection, keeping him captive ever since he saw his father's Super 8 films after the funeral. Mark's father was a man's man, a photojournalist from World War II through Vietnam. He was wild and untamed, lawless. After the funeral, Mark went into his father's workroom. Trunks full of souvenirs, swords, flags, and items from nations that no longer existed. Pictures of strangers, 8x10s of sorrow, grief, and death. All these images belonged to him now. Through sad 14-year-old eyes, he watched his father's history, the world's history in black and white, absorbed in a mixture of shock and revulsion. He sifted through the collection. His father also had a stash of old Super 8 films. One of the reels was a glimpse of post-World War II Japan. Here he came upon the image of his father, young, almost too young to recognize. He and other uniformed men were at a geisha house. The film took care to capture the delicate females shuffling, smiling shyly, and flirting with fans covering faces. He watched the film over and over. The geisha's glances, presenting tea, images that filled him with a desire both vivid and unsettling. As an adult, he painfully watched his own frame sprout to 6 feet, his blonde hair and blue eyes betraying an uncontrollable urge. He slipped black leather gloves each day over large-knuckled hands, and he mounted his Harley, setting to the task of his profession. Lonely drives down California highways, sunlight filtering on dark sunglasses, hiding his Anglo features. Silence, his companion. In his daily duty, he would stop a sports car or sports utility vehicle. Inside, a smiling Asian woman wearing eyeliner, trying to convert her beautiful almond features to round, donning pink lip gloss and Western clothes, unaware that he coveted her porcelain skin, tiny hands and frame, disgusted at her Western ideals. He hated her American self-confidence and disregard for the gift of her body. No one knew he had a silk kimono at home. No one knew at day's end he would slide into traditional garb with handmade wooden slippers. The makeup he put on his face was purchased in Japan, and he felt closer to his center as he smelled its minerals and oils. Late in the evening, with trembling hands, he would retrieve from high in his closet one of several black wax wigs. Remembering the face of the smirking assistant in Tokyo, as he questioned the authenticity of the piece, he would paint cherry lips and commence the ceremony of tea, then dance for an audience of none. He had memorized graceful movements, closed his eyes, and danced fan in hand, despairing each time he touched the silk and removed the wig, weeping in realization that he could never be the thing he longed for. He could only imagine and pretend. Eyes closed, he would imagine his body being small and slight. Imagine shy smile behind his fan. Painfully pretend. Painfully hold on to this secret longing. Imagining, but knowing this could never be. And in the morning, he would ready himself to another costume. Heartbroken, he would resume his duties as officer of the law. He was a big man, not a shuffling adored female. No operation could change things. Nothing could reduce his size, change his skin, hide his features. He knew in reality that he was an officer of the law, assigned to this reality, and he had to accept it. Desire and longing meant nothing to the universe. The law of nature kept him captive in a prison of his own yearning the rest of his life.